Hello, welcome to OJ Studios. Please enjoy this week's chapter of Ballet by Lacey Rice.
To my surprise, the ballet classes were held in the city's sports center in the middle of downtown. This is the same place where I played Little League baseball and Pee Wee football. I never knew that this place also housed a ballet class too. Mom parked the car in the parking lot, and I followed her shyly to the front entrance. As we stepped inside the sports center, the familiar scent of sweat mingled with the faint aroma of rosin, creating a unique atmosphere that felt both strange and oddly comforting. Mom led the way, her steps confident and purposeful, while I trailed behind her, feeling increasingly self-conscious in my new form. We made our way down a corridor lined with doors. Finally we got to a door marked Mrs. Willow's Ballet Studio. In front of the door was a table with 4 girls sitting behind it. The first few girls I didn't recognize, but the last one I knew very well. Monica was standing up talking to a little girl who was probably my new age. Who I guessed were the girls' parents stood there with their daughter asking questions about the class. Monica wore a sleek black ballet leotard that hugged her curves in all the right places, accentuating the lines of her body with elegance. The contrast of the black against her fair skin was striking, drawing my attention like a magnet. Her long, slender legs were encased in pristine white tights. The fabric stretched over her muscles, showcasing their strength and flexibility. Her hair was pulled back into a tight bun, highlighting the delicate features of her face. Dark lashes framed her piercing eyes, which sparkled with determination and passion. There was an air of confidence about her, a quiet assurance in every movement she made. Mom and I made our way to her as the girl and her parents took the bag that Monica gave them and left to go down the hall. "Are you here for ballet classes?" Monica asked once we stepped forward. Monica looked down at me and for a moment I wondered if she could tell that I was really Owen, the nerdy boy that tried out for a football team and failed. "Yes, we're here for Cassie's first day of ballet," Mom said, putting her hands on my shoulders. "Excellent," Monica said as she looked down at her clipboard. Then bent down and grabbed a brown paper bag like the one that the other girl had earlier. I looked at the bag and instantly wanted to leave. On the front of the bag facing me was the name Cassie written out in pink glitter glue, along with other very girly decorations. Inside of here are some booklets about stretches, the positions of ballet, a class t-shirt and water bottle. Also it looks like you also ordered Cassie's leotards, tights, and ballet slippers with us too, so they will be in the bag as well. I froze for a moment. How could I not think about the fact that during ballet practice, I would have to wear a ballet leotard? I looked at the leotard Monica was wearing and instantly I regretted looking at her in it, especially since I will be wearing one now in the next few minutes. "Excellent," Mom said, waking me up from my dreaded thoughts. She took the bag off the table and handed it to me. "Where are the locker room for her to change into?" Monica gave Mom the directions and the next thing I knew I was being guided down to the locker room by Mom, leaving Monica and the other teen girls behind. As we walked down the hallway to the locker room, my heart pounded with nervous anticipation. I clutched the paper bag tightly in my hands, dreading the moment when I would have to change into the ballet attire inside. Once we got to the doors for the locker room, I out of habit began to open the boys' locker room door, before being stopped and being reminded that while I was Cassie, I must do everything a girl must do, and that includes going into the girls' bathroom and locker rooms. I took a deep breath, trying to calm my nerves as I pushed open the door to the girls' locker room. The familiar scent of soap and perfume filled my senses as I stepped inside, feeling a wave of discomfort wash over me. This wasn't where I belonged, and every fiber of my being screamed against the idea of being here. Mom followed close behind me, her presence a source of both comfort and embarrassment. She seemed unfazed by the situation, her expression calm and collected as she surveyed the room. "Alright, Cassie, why don't you go find a private stall to change in?" Mom suggested, gesturing toward the rows of lockers lining the walls. I nodded, my throat tight with anxiety, and made my way to an empty stall in the corner where no girls were around. With trembling hands, I set the paper bag down on the bench and began to unpack its contents. I began to shut the stall door when Mom walked in. "Okay, Cassie, get undressed," Mom said. "With you watching?" I asked, a little panicked. Mom gave me a reassuring smile. "Don't worry, Cassie. It's just us girls here. Plus, I stop time everywhere but in this stall. This way I can help you get your ballet tights on and your leotard on correctly." I nodded, knowing that I really couldn't argue with her, and quickly began to undress, trying my best to ignore the fact that my mom was still in the room. I slipped out of the girls' clothes, feeling a strange mix of vulnerability and embarrassment. Once I was down to my underwear, I hesitated, unsure of how to proceed. "Take off everything," Mom said, grabbing the pair of white tights from the bag. "You don't want a panty line." I took a deep breath and did what she told me to do. Mom then had me sit on the bench as she took one of the legs of the rolled up tights and put it on my foot. The thin white fabric stretched over my legs, feeling strange and restrictive compared to the loose jeans I was accustomed to wearing. As Mom helped me pull the tights up, I couldn't shake the feeling of discomfort. The tights hugged my legs tightly, accentuating every curve and contour. It felt foreign and constricting, a stark contrast to the loose, comfortable clothes I was used to wearing. Once both legs were securely encased in the tights, Mom handed me the leotard. I hesitated, feeling a surge of apprehension as I stared at the sleek, form-fitting garment in my hands. It wasn't the same black leotard that Monica was wearing, instead it was a blue. I couldn't imagine myself wearing such a feminine piece of clothing. I only wondered what Lucas is going to say when he sees me in this. I took the leotard and put one foot into one of the leg holes and put my other into the other leg hole. I put the leotard over my torso, feeling the smooth fabric stretch tightly over my skin. With a deep breath, I pulled it up, adjusting it to fit snugly against my body. The sensation was strange, like wearing a second skin that left nothing to the imagination. As I looked at myself in the mirror, I couldn't help but feel exposed, vulnerable even. The blue leotard clung to every curve, emphasizing parts of my body I was accustomed to hiding. As I adjust the straps of my leotard, I can't help but feel a little self-conscious. It's so snug against my skin, outlining every curve and bump. I tug at the fabric, wishing it would magically smooth out any imperfections. Mom handed me back the girly tennis shoes and had me put them on. "You will get you ballet slippers when you get to the studio, until then you can wear these, so you don't get your tights dirty." I nodded, thankful to be wearing at least something I was used to. I looked in the mirror that the stall had. I had been avoiding it the whole time I was getting dressed, but now I was curious. Taking a deep breath, I turned to face the mirror, steeling myself for what I might see. The reflection that stared back at me was a stark contrast to the girl that I saw for the first time in my room. Instead of the familiar baggy clothes that I had been wearing, I saw a silhouette outlined by the light blue leotard, every curve and contour on display. "You look great, Cassie," Mom said, from behind me. I smiled a little, still nervous about what Lucas was going to say. Maybe I can lie low and try not to be discovered by him. Maybe if I play the role of sweet little girl long enough he won't know that one of the girls in his class is really me? I must hope. "Why do I have to wear a leotard to this class?" I asked. "It feels funny, and I look ridiculous." "You don't look ridiculous, Cassis," Mom insisted. "And ballet dancers wear clothes that are easy to move around in, and your teacher needs to see the position of your arms and legs." "Why can't she see the position of my arms and legs in a pair of shorts and t-shirts?" I asked. "Because your shorts and t-shirts are too loose fitting." As Mom gathered up my belongings, I couldn't help but feel a mixture of excitement and nerves churning in my stomach. The reality of what I was about to do hit me all at once, and I clung to Mom's reassuring presence as we made our way out of the dressing room. With a snap of her fingers, time resumed its normal flow, and I took a deep breath, bracing myself for whatever lay ahead. As we stepped back into the hallway, the sounds of chatter and laughter from the other dancers filled the air, adding to the sense of anticipation building within me. I followed Mom out of the locker room and into the hallway. "Ready or not, here I come!"